So today we're looking at fullbacks. There's been a big upgrade on a lot of players, and most definitely the meta shift is upon us. We're starting to see a lot more role pluses, a lot more playstyle pluses, and then also some higher rated right back, left backs, and they most definitely are in this game to shake it up a little bit. Now I still don't see necessarily somebody that is way beyond the mean. Like we've got players that are worth incredible amounts of coins. When you look at fullbacks in general, they are some massive prices on there. When you go to the top, we look at like a Roberto Carlos at 1.3, Carfu at 1.1, to Rams at 1 million coins. Now, obviously with icons, they are going to be more expensive because, for instance, Alberto, Carfu, Carlos Alberto, Roberto Carlos, and also Carfu have not been in an icon pack yet. We've got a max of 90, so it's only been one time that you could have done Roberto Carlos. Carfu Alberto, not in there at all. Maldini, not in there at all. So you'd have had to have got him from a random pack to be able to have packed him. So that is very far and few at the moment. We are going to be getting Thunderstruck icons as well, so that is going to add to the list also. Don't know. I want to say I saw Turan potentially leaked, but I've not seen anybody as of yet in terms of fullbacks. So they're kind of our top sort of price. Obviously, then we look at the likes of Teo, who does have the most expensive left back in the game. And to be honest, he is pretty good. Like, let us be real.
If you need coins in FC25, lootbar.gg has you covered. They are the cheapest trading platform on the game, 8 to 10% cheaper than any others, 8% off if you use the code JT11 at the end at checkout, plus you get 5% extra on coins. With the fastest delivery system going, used by many FC25 creators such as Zorky, Manny Plus, and even Pro owners. So if you need any coins, head over to lootbar.gg, make sure JT11's in the promo code, and hopefully you enjoy.
But then you've got to ask the question of, where does the other cards sit? Because obviously we look at the 89, 3.7 mil. It's a huge price tag on him. We look at 956 for his inform, and then 320 for his gold, which is still, I want to say it's like fifth highest in the game, I would say at this point. I actually don't know how much expensive that is. It's got to be up there. So we look at by price. We've got Mbappe first, obviously. Vinny at number 2. He's coming in at number 3. That is very, very good for a fullback as well. We've still got Leao at 140. We've actually not got that many left at 100 now. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players left at 100,000 coins or above. So Teo is kind of the real deal here. He's definitely up there with the best of them. When it comes to role plus, as we know that now is becoming more of a big thing, you've obviously got the fullback in balance and defense, you've got the wing back in defense, fullback in balance and defense, attacking wing back in balance and attack, and they are going to be for the both of them, for left back and right back. Now obviously fullback is your traditional left back, right back, very much just stay at the back, defend, kind of goes up to the halfway line, doesn't really go too much further. Wing back is as it stands, they kind of venture a little bit more up, but they're not necessarily your complete left wing back as such. That is going to be for the attacking wing back. That's going to be completely up. He's going to be predominantly more in the attack than he is necessarily in the defense. When it comes to fullback, it's very much like Trent. He's kind of in that right back spot when he's on the defensive side, but then he's in the middle of the pitch, adding almost like another CDM centre mid to the mix. If you are looking for that, maybe you attack on the left, so you want him to push up a little bit more. All of them are going to have different advantages and disadvantages. For myself, I personally like the fullback. Now, obviously with Teo, I think all 3 versions are absolutely incredible. Regardless of cost, I think when you look at a gold card, and he's already that expensive anyway as well, you kind of have to take note of him. And he is most definitely one of the best left backs in the game. I'd argue that he possibly is better than some of the icons. I am a bit more of a fan of the right hand side more so than the left. You've obviously got the likes of Ashley Cole as the left back. Now some of the right backs can play left back as well, but you've also got a Roberto Carlos in there as well, and then I think that's all the icons that we've got at the moment. Now I'm not necessarily a big fan of Ashley Cole. I think his upgrades in the future will be better, but when we look at the base version of him, he's only solid, I would say. He's not necessarily incredible. I personally would prefer a Furlan Mendy. And that could be really harsh, but I think for me, Ashley Cole just doesn't do the job that I want. 2-star weak foot. The Jockey Playstyle Plus is a nice little added bonus, but it isn't necessarily my cup of tea. I'd only put him in the A+. Now, Roberto Carlos is a little bit more of a better story, I'm not going to lie. He is obviously more expensive, which is to be kind of probably assumed, to be fair, but he's 1.3 million. He's obviously got the Deadpool plus. It's nice, like it's a great you know why he's got that playstyle plus, but I would like a defensive one as well, hence why I do prefer better versions of him. But again, 2-star weak foot, so that now it's not necessarily the be all and end all of every player, but it would be nice to have a little bit more on him, to be honest. Stat-wise, we're looking decent enough, decent passing, obviously dribbling and shooting's good enough, great pace, great defending and physical. He's got them attributes that work really well. Now, obviously, people are going to go for the anchor for him. It'll give him 95, 91, 91. It's a pretty top-end card, to be honest. Now, whether I'd go as a left-back, I'd possibly still put him in the S plus rather than the S, because he is that sort of left back in my opinion. He's very, very good on the ball. Passing is exquisite. Obviously, he's got the free kick ability if you really wanted to, and obviously a left foot as well. Furlan Mendy, I think with the evolutions as well, because I think the gold version, as good as he is dropping in price a lot quicker than we have seen. But when you look at the evolution builder on him, taking him to that 86, it's a lovely upgrade. Adding that extra bit of passing and dribbling, defensively still can add some more. Obviously, when we look at the card now, you add an anchor to him, you add a shadow, or even just a backbone. That's going to be a pretty decent card for him. If we go, I don't know if we can actually put the stats on him because there isn't no evolutions there. I want to click that and then I want to add player. There we go. So if we was to go with the anchor, 94, 86, 90, then having the extra bonus of the passing and also the dribbling, that's a pretty solid left back. Like you can't ask for too much better. He's a 4-star, 5-star as well. Arguably with the evolution, I would put him up in the top. But even as the 84, I still think he comes in and gives a good job in my opinion. Kind of looking through the rest of the left backs that we've got, Bon Pastor, Capdevia, Alfonso. We then have Cancelo, who definitely needs an upgrade. We have McCabe, we have Nuno Tavares, John Arne Riise, Robertson, very good card. Robinson, Rosa Leon. We keep going. We've got a bit of Grimaldo and Guerrero. Then we've got a bit of Alaba, DeMarco, and Sakina Lizarazu. And then we've got another Lizarazu. And I think that is all the left backs so far. So when we look at them, there is quite a few that have different capabilities. Obviously, the Playstyle Plus is going to catch your eye straight away. We have the likes of Rapid. We have the likes of Rapid again. I don't know, what does John Honorisa have? I can't quite see that one from here. I'm pretty sure, was he a power shot? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he was, power shot. Now, I'd probably prefer Rapid still, to be honest. You've got Jockey, whipped pass, tiki-taka, slide tackle, and slide tackle again. So already you're asking the question, what is the best playstyle plus for your fullbacks? And to be honest, there is not really an answer, to be fair. I don't think with a fullback there is a guaranteed that is a must. Like a winger, I personally like the quick step. As a striker, you're looking at Travella, finesse shot, power shot, midfield. Maybe you're looking at an intercept, you're looking at a slide tackle for a DM, maybe even something kind of more incisive pass for a cam. And then personally for me, aerial plus has always been great for centre backs and also anticipate. Whereas when it comes to fullbacks, I think the Rapid is great for the attacking wing-back sort of style. We've got the whipped pass if you're looking for that as well, to be able to get the balls in. I think for me, I do like a bit of slide tackle, more towards the centre-back, more so than a full-back, but it still can work. The Jockey, I'm a big fan of as well. And then you'd be looking like an anticipate, you'd be looking at a block. There's a few that would work. There's not necessarily one, unless you know down below what you're thinking. There isn't one that I would say that is a guarantee you need that on a full-back. When we're looking at the rest of these cards though, we're looking at quite a few of the kind of average cards. Like we're looking at Cancelo, he's not really going to offer too much nowadays. We need the upgrade for him. There's a lot of players here that have had a massive upgrades. We look at Guerrero's card just as a standpoint. Now in terms of fullback, it's probably underwhelming, but as a centre mid, it's really not that bad. You look at an anchor or something across them lines, 86, 98, 79. Then he's got the 88 passing, the 91 dribbling, and even a bit of shooting as well as then adding the tiki-taka. Probably a better centre mid than he is fullback, to be honest. So I'd kind of put him in the Cole sort of era. We're looking at quite a few of the decent ones. I think Robertson definitely was a lovely upgrade of a card, very fairly priced as well. We look at Jean Onarise. Again, for me, not necessarily the biggest fan. I think he was added last year and again, didn't really pop off that much in my opinion. I felt like he was only okay. The power shot again, kind of moving towards more of a left centre mid, if I'm being really honest with him. And obviously we did get the footies in the end, but to be fair with him, the game was pretty much done by that point anyway. So he, for me, would be at a kind of a really low point here. I think Alaba is very much the same as Guerrero. He is better as that centre mid, that CDM. He just works it better. So as a fullback, he's only okay in my opinion. DeMarco, incredible card. I love him up and down the pitch. He is one of the better fullbacks that we've seen so far, and obviously does have that capability to be that attacking wing back more so than anything. He does have it as the plus as well. So it all depends on what you're looking for here. If you're looking for a fullback, then obviously I'd be looking at a Roberto Carlos. I'd be looking at a Teo, even though he can play that attacking wing back. I would always suggest looking potentially at what you need for your team in terms of a role plus first, and then you can figure out who gets the upgrade. There could be an evolution added later on in the game, and most definitely could provide a little bit extra stability into that team. I think Bompastor and Capdevia both offer an incredible amount of defensive ability. Now, I do think Bompastor is slightly better in my opinion. Capdevia definitely being off the pace a little bit more this year, and I do think Lizarazu again claims that spot that he was trying to take last year. He really was neck and neck until we got to footies, and then it was pretty much just anybody's game. It didn't matter if you had a 95 and above or what, because everybody else did as well. But I do think this card most definitely is looking pretty fantastic. Again, having pretty much all the role pluses, needing to add the plus, which he does have on the attacking wing back, again adds another element to him, very much like DeMarco. In terms of an attacking wing back plus, I would suggest him to be the best in that zone, if I'm being honest, especially because he does have that plus on it. We then look at Nuno Tavares. Again, kind of a nice upgrade for him. He's got himself the rapid. Defensive ability is nice, but it's not quite in the top category just yet. Very much like Rosalion as well. Kind of just there at the moment. Now, obviously, he has the ability to potentially go up in rating as well. I don't know if it was in Group A. Let me know down below if you know that. But we did have Group A ability last night. Wonder if we've got the tracker for the FC Pro. Is that going to tell us who has got the upgrade? I don't know if it's fully upgraded as of yet. I'm pretty sure. I want to say Ox got something, so I'm pretty sure they've not fully upgraded it as of yet. So we will see as we... Oh, no, it has. Carvalho got the 10 points. Wow, so he managed to get... No, I think he managed to get one upgrade on there. So it looks like nobody else has really got the points. There's Rosalion with nothing. So it looks like one person's managed to get it all. Whether they've just not updated everybody there, but it does seem that only one at the moment has got their ability to go up. So then we look at the rest. I think we've got Robinson here. I think, again, with the Playstyle Pluses, that is going to be a must at this point. You need them upgraded. Unless you've got a really vital plus on a roll that works really well, it's only going to get you so far. I think the Playstyle Pluses already had that effect where you need one at the minimum, even if it's, like I said, one of them throwaway ones that does add a little ability to him. Now, obviously, the long ball throw isn't going to really count to that, but we still move with it. Grimaldo, obviously coming in as a left back, left mid, does have the role plus for the attacking wing back as well, coming in with some nice stats. Obviously, the physicality side of him could have a little bit of work. You could go with the anchor to go 91, 86, 81, which I can imagine a lot of people are doing. Solid left back. I would put him under Lizarazu, to be honest, and to be honest as well, I would go under DeMarco. I think he's kind of just there at this point. Sakina managing to get herself an inform into a left wing as well. Completely out of pocket here. Going from the left back into the left wing, left back or left mid. Again, having some roles that you've got, attacking wing back, false back plus. It's not going to be great if you don't have, or if you want to play a fullback instead. But again, that's why I say look at the roles first. And to be honest, if the player's got the stats and the ability there, they do make a difference, but I don't think it's a difference where I'm saying that you just stay away from that card. If, say, if Teo doesn't have your fullback plus, which I don't think he does anyway, I wouldn't say stay away from him because he's still a very good card in the game also. We then also have the Brighton, we have McCabe. Alfonso obviously goes up into that top category, and I think Cancelo now would start to be dropping down. Which leads us to some of the right backs. Now we've got quite an easy list with here. I think left backs, there's definitely kind of a spread across all the board. When we look at right backs, because we've got a solid amount of icon right backs, they are easily in the top category. Now I know I get a lot of stick for just putting the highest price players in there. But when it comes to especially icons, and when we look at Teo, there's a reason beyond the fact that they're that expensive. Now, if you're looking at Theo and thinking, I don't want to pay 4 mil, that's fair enough, because to be honest, I wouldn't either. But there is a reason why it's that expensive. There is obviously supply, there's demand, and then there's the actual reason for that supply and demand. If he wasn't that good, if he was just another average 88, 89 left back, he would not be 4 million coins. There'd be no demand. The demand for him would drop. The price would drop until the supply then carries on. And then if the supply is low, which we have seen in Team of the Year, that's when the price does significantly go up. So obviously with Teo, he's going to be very hard to pack. But even so, if you look at the likes of Alphonso Davies, he's obviously in the same promo as him. He's coming in at 574. And I'd say he's probably not necessarily as hard to pack, but still just as hard as anybody to try and get in a pack. So if there's the same difference, then obviously Teo's just a little bit harder, but adding an extra 4 million coins on, he wouldn't be that hard to pack in comparison to a high-rated track star. So I think with Teo, it is a very rough assumption for him that the 89 is the best left back in the game, or at least in terms of what he offers, he is the most favoured left back in the game. When we look at the rest of the icons as well, we've obviously got the Zanetti. I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of Zanetti in the right back. I personally don't think he's that good there. He's one of them cards that I think you can either get on with or not. I personally prefer him in the CDM role, which he obviously has on his base version, but he doesn't have on his on this day icon. Now obviously got the rapid plus instead of relentless, a little bit more pace, less defending, less physical, which obviously takes away from the right back in my opinion. And especially seen as though he is going to be more of your wing back plus, I can kind of understand where they're going. I just think it's a very poor job from there where you could have just put this on this day icon into a CDM instead, rather than keeping him that same position. Now obviously it's better than his base icon in terms of his form, so I would kind of go towards more of an A plus and an A. I really just don't fancy him as a fullback. Way better as a CDM. Obviously Zambrotta will go into the top division of S. Lahm is very similar to the likes of Zanetti. He is kind of better as that CDM. For me, I just really don't fancy him here, and I'm probably being a bit harsh. Maybe they are more of an A+, because they naturally have the ability in-game. It is just my personal preference that I do prefer him in that CDM role, and especially Lahm having the intercept, it's way better in my opinion. Kyle Walker. Now, ask me any other game, he would still be relevant enough. He would still be absolutely ripping it up. He's now 5.7 thousand coins. He's got the stats to kind of keep going, and he did have an evolution that you could have put him into the no pressure. Now, obviously, when you're adding a little bit of stats to him, he got pretty much everything bar from pace. You could then add the anchor to him, 93, 86, 88. Still very relevant with that evolution. Now, with the base 84, I think he's slowly losing touch, to be honest. He's only got so much to be given, to be fair. 2-star weak foot again. Very bog standard gold. I do think people are definitely moving away from him and kind of off that sort of hype, whereas Mendy has got the 4-star, 5-star, still got the ability in-game to go, whereas I think Walker was very much pace orientated, and once that's taken out and the advantage is gone and everybody else has that same level of pace, he just becomes another gold card in my opinion. We have got Mike on as well. Absolutely love him this year. He is incredible. Again, another top end sort of right back. We have Boy, obviously putting himself into that top category. I would say Delo is now starting to come down a little bit more. Frimpong, I wouldn't necessarily go into the top just yet. I think that would be a kind of team of the year, team of the season vibe for Frimpong. The 88 is nice, but he's not quite at that top level anymore. Gusto, another fantastic card. He was kind of the comparison to Delo because obviously both of them being the Prem, both having wonderful upgrades that already took over Walker in my opinion. Delo's obviously coming in at the 170, whereas Gusto is a live card and hopefully still a very on track live card as well, because Chelsea should reach that second spot at the very minimum in the Conference League. I actually don't know where they're at, but they should do, which would put Gusto even more into that top category. We look at Llorente, it's quite an easy one. Trent Alexander-Arnold, now he's one that is very much specific orientated, because we know full well with obviously the Total Rush, they was always going to give him the Fullback plus. So if you rock with that role, that is going to be one of the better right backs that you can get with him. He's got the whipped pass, which is always nice. The Fullback plus, knowing his identity and where he plays, absolutely brilliant on the ball. He's that decent right back that only goes for a certain style, which I can only applaud. I think if you're that sort of inclined, then obviously the Fullback with Trent is going to work its magic. We then have quite a few others with obviously Lucy Bronze. We have Jesus, another nice card, but very much just a pace abuse sort of card. Alex Scott, little bit on the kind of just a bit of a meh sort of side, to be honest. 18,000 coins at this point, 84, 88, 6, decent stats, but nothing really worth mentioning crazy. Should be kind of on that level with Capdevia. She's got a good card and some nice stats, but it's not quite of the level of what we've seen so far. We've obviously got Darmian as well, probably about the same, to be fair to him. He's kind of just there at this point. I'd maybe even stick him one further down, to be fair to him. Di Lorenzo obviously will go up one. O'Hara, Silva and O'Hara. Now, obviously with O'Hara, she's going to be fantastic for them links. When we're looking at the Swanson link, we're looking at the Morgan, the Smith, the Rodman. It's a cracking linked card, and Dunn as well as another SBC. But I do think she's got limitations. The freestar. She is a wingback plus again, so it isn't necessarily my style. So that's possibly where the bit of friction does come in. So that is going to be everybody on this list. Let me know down below where you agree, disagree. Who are your fullbacks? What roles do you put on them? And let me know how you're getting on. Peace.